Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how to set up the studies. Basically what the studies are your indicators, which would be, these lines, your MACD. You pull this down, you can see your RSI, let's see, right there, and they essentially, tell you when to buy and sell. Now, will they always be 100% correct? No. But, as you learn what you're looking at and what you're looking for, they vastly help you out. And once you get familiar with everything and paper trade for a while, using whatever indicators that you get accustomed to, your trading will improve greatly. So, let's go up here to studies. And right here, these are just some standard default options that they give you. I honestly haven't used them, but if any of you have, let me know. Let me know which ones are good. I might give them a try. But this is what I do. So click on Edit Studies, and a box like this should come up. Now, depending on if you already have studies in or whatnot, you may have some things already open up over here, or you may not have anything at all. But if you already have something that you have been using, what you need to go ahead and do right now is save set as, and name whatever that set is. Go ahead and save it, and you'll have it available later on. So what I would like you to do to set yours up just like mine is go in here and delete everything that you have up. So just go over here and click X on all the boxes that you have available. Now once you get to that point, come over here, and what I will need you to add in is these moving averages. So type MOV. Yeah, so pull up the list, and this is, let's see, where is it at? Right here. This is the one we are looking for. So once you get that highlighted, I want you to add 5 of them. So add selected, click it 5 times to make sure you have 5 over here. If you add any more, just go back, delete 1. So after you add those 5 in, and we'll change all this in a second over here, but get those 5 in, and then type in VWAP. So VW, okay, it pops up right there. So click on that, add 1 of them. So then your top box for price, should look something like this. We'll change all these numbers over here. You probably have an asterisk, by all these at this point, and we'll fix that in a second. Alright, so next, add in MACD. So click this first one, add selected, pop up, and then we want to add RSI. So click this one right here, add selected, and now we have all the indicators in your studies group that we will be using to trade my style. Later on, if my style is not something that you're comfortable with, or it just doesn't make sense to you, change it to what works for you. Every person has their own style, and it just really comes down to how you view your studies, and just how you trade in general. So go up here to your first moving average. You'll highlight it, come over here to this little wheel, that's your settings, click that. Now to do it exactly like mine, especially if you're going to be following me on this, It will probably be best to make all the colors of the lines exactly the way I have it, or future videos you will be completely lost comparing your lines to my lines. So up here for price, make sure it says closed. For length, this is measured in bars. So each one of these is considered a bar, even though they're 1 minute increments. Each one of these is a bar. So over here, each one of these, well, I can't make it bigger, but each one of these candlesticks, that's a bar. Now the difference is over here, this bar represents 1 minute. This bar over here represents 5 minutes. And down here in this corner, each one of these bars represent 1 day. So when things are talked about, in length, and it has a number, depending on, how it's measured, that's how many bars that is. So you want this first one to be 9. This number right here is 0. And for the breakout signals, no. Make sure that's clicked. And right here, make sure you got numerical. And make sure you have this line. Some people, they use these different lines. To me, it can get kind of confusing. It doesn't really look smooth. But, again, it all comes down to your preference in the end. You want this line so it's a solid line like this up here. And for the color, for this first line, you'll click right here. Now this up signal, down signal, basically what that is, don't change nothing right here. This is a default color, all this is a default, and we'll keep that as such. But this is what this is, are these little arrows right here. It starts indicating when it's technically uptrending or downtrending like that. So we'll keep those the same. Go back here, make sure everything of yours matches mine, and click OK. So go to the next one now. Open up the settings. Make sure it says closed. And this one's going to be 20. 0, no, same over here. Make sure these match. And we're going to make this one yellow. Alright. So once you've got that set up, this will be the same throughout. Come down here, click OK. Go to your next one. Settings. Closed. 50. 0, no. Click that. All these are the same. We're going to make this one red. What I've done, you just click on more and click on that red right there. And click OK. Hold on. Kind of a little bit weird red. I'm going to click on the next one over. So I'm going to click on that red. I'm going to now click OK. Alright, so go to your fourth one. Settings. Closed. This one's 100. 0, no. Show study. All this the same. Make sure this one's green. And OK. Now the fifth one. closed. 200, 0 no, same, all the same. And we're going to change this to purple. So, you know, just something relatively close right in there. And then click OK. Now for VWAP. And what I'm going to do in the next coming videos will be, I will break down, you know, what these all mean, you know, what to look for, you know, how they flow with the stock. So, you know, go to VWAP right here, click settings. Make sure, I think this is the standard number, but make sure it's -2 and then +2. Time frame, day, make that the same. You know, make these the same, and let's see, this one, you actually change it, you know, change it to this third dash line right here. And then for this color, make sure change it to white. You know, all this right here, you know, we'll just keep this the same. Basically, you know, like it says, your upper band and lower band. But I'll explain these in another video to break it down. So once you have this set up the same, click OK. Come down here to the MACD, settings. All these numbers should be default, but keep them like that. Click that. Make sure you have that in. And signal breakouts. Yes. Alright, so check these, make sure they're the same. You know, pick that teal color. And let's see. Keep this color the same. This all makes sense here in a little bit in another video. So all these will be the same by default. Keep your 0 line that color, and those all the same. So once you have this in, that, and this, click OK. RSI. Alright, so these are default settings. Keep those the same. Price, make sure, you know, it's unclosed. That. You know, make sure this is the same, you know, and these as well. These are all default colors, keep them the same. And then click OK. So before we do anything else, come right here, click this again, and you know, you're just gonna type in whatever you want to name this set of indicators. So I'm just gonna, you know, call it training, and then click save. And once you did that, it took away all these asterisks. And at this point, you know, if you don't like this setup of indicators, or if you want to, you know, go back to your old set of indicators, you go up here to sets, and you'll have your indicators already saved in there. If you had some earlier saved, you know, it will be in here as well. And you know, you can just click on it and see what's, you know, in it. And if that's what you want to use, you know, you'll just click use set, come down here to apply, click that, and then click OK. So yours should look relatively something like this in this first box. Now, since you're just setting this up for the first time, in these other boxes, you know, it should look pretty similar except for over here, your candlesticks, the green ones will probably still be, empty, and the red candlesticks will be full. So come up here, click Style, Settings, and then click on Appearance. And you just do like you did earlier, just click that box to fill it in, and then click Apply and OK. For those that theirs didn't automatically load up, this is the benefit of saving your indicator set. So come back here to Studies, load study set, and click the one you want, and it should bring everything up to where now this cell block looks the same as this one, except on a different time frame. Come down here, fix your candlesticks by going to Appearance, fill it in, Apply, OK. Go to Studies, load set, training, there. Now, all your 4 cell blocks should relatively look the same at this point, or close to that. So on this first box, I want you to click on N for news, and for whatever ticker symbol you have open right now, that's the news that will pop up. So for this first box, click N for news, DB for dashboard, and chart. The second box over here, just chart. Go down here to your 1 day, chart, and over here, if you haven't changed this yet, make sure it's L2 for level 2, active trader, and time and sells. And like I said earlier, you can adjust this depending on how you want it to look, but I like to make it look something close to that, because you can still get all the same information over here and here and here. So at this point, we should be on the same page with our setup right here. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a watch list and make it look something like this. And I think by now your default settings may have just something over here, but I'll show you how to delete that, make your own the way you want it, and we'll take it from there. See you then.